In the summer of 1997, 18-year-old Kristen Modafferi had just finished her freshman year at North Carolina State University. Bright, curious, and independent, she decided to spend her summer in California, a dream adventure before her next semester. She found a room in Oakland's J Apartments and picked up 2 part-time jobs, one at Spinelli's coffee shop in San Francisco's Crocker Galleria. Those who knew her described her as responsible, mature, and always full of life. On June 23rd, Kristen finished her morning shift and told her coworkers she planned to visit Baker Beach, a popular spot overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. She clocked out around 3 p.m. and left the mall, carrying only a small bag. That was the last confirmed sighting of her. Despite what she said, there's no evidence she ever made it to the beach. Kristen's roommates noticed something wrong that evening when she didn't come home. Her work uniform was neatly folded in her room, along with her wallet, ID, and beloved camera. Nothing suggested she'd planned to stay out. When she didn't show up for her next shift, alarms spread quickly. Kristen's family in North Carolina was contacted, and within hours, they were on the first flight to California. Oakland police began a missing persons investigation. Detectives tracked her movements, searching bus routes, beaches, and surveillance near the Galleria, but there were no clear leads. Kristen's BART card had been used that day, but the trail ended there. It was as though she had stepped into the fog and simply ceased to exist. During the search, investigators discovered Kristen had responded to a classified ad from the San Francisco Chronicle a few days earlier. The ad mentioned friendship and photography, one of her passions. Police couldn't confirm whether she ever met the person behind it, but the timing was unsettling. Some speculated she might have arranged to meet that contact the day she vanished. The lead generated a wave of public interest. For a brief moment, everyone hoped the ad would break the case open, but it led nowhere. No suspects were named, no meeting confirmed. What had started as a promising clue dissolved into another dead end, deepening the mystery that surrounded Kristen's final day. By July, volunteers flooded the Bay Area, handing out flyers and posting missing person posters from San Francisco to Oakland. Kristen's parents appeared on television, pleading for anyone with information to come forward. The Modafferis refused to let the case fade quietly. Their daughter was too disciplined, too responsible, to simply walk away. Police scoured every lead, from public parks to photography studios, but each clue unraveled into nothing. Phone records, transit logs, even witness sketches yielded no progress. The longer the search went on, the more surreal it became. How could someone vanish in daylight in one of America's busiest cities? Detectives turned their focus to the J Apartments, where Kristen rented a shared room. One tenant claimed to have seen her return briefly the day she disappeared, but the account was never verified. The building itself became central to the mystery, a transient community of students and travelers with doors that rarely stayed locked. Police brought in cadaver dogs, who reportedly alerted to the scent of human decomposition near the apartment's basement. Despite this chilling lead, no remains were found. Years later, private investigators would revisit this same clue, convinced Kristen's disappearance began much closer to home than anyone thought. Over time, theories multiplied. Some believed Kristen fell victim to a predator she met through the personal ad. Others suspected someone from her building, or that she was abducted on her way to the beach. A few thought she may have voluntarily disappeared, though those closest to her rejected that completely. She had just started her adult life. Nothing hinted she wanted to leave. The case eventually went cold, buried under layers of speculation. Amateur sleuths online continued to piece together her final hours, hoping technology might reveal what police couldn't. But for every clue uncovered, another question emerged, and none led to Kristen. Kristen's family refused to stop searching. Her parents launched a foundation, funded billboards, and hired private investigators. Every few years, new tips surfaced, from supposed sightings to anonymous letters, but none brought her home. Even decades later, her mother still keeps a light on in the window, waiting for answers that never seem to come. For the Modafferis, time hasn't dulled the pain. The case remains open, but hope now coexists with acceptance. Somewhere between Oakland streets and San Francisco's shoreline, the truth about what happened to Kristen Modafferi still lingers, quiet, invisible, and haunting. More than 2 decades have passed since Kristen disappeared, yet her story remains one of the Bay Area's most enduring mysteries. The case continues to attract attention from detectives, journalists, and online communities who refuse to forget her. Somewhere, someone knows what happened, and silence has kept the answers buried. In the end, Kristen Modafferi's name echoes as both a tragedy and a warning, a reminder that even in broad daylight, surrounded by people, a person can vanish without a trace. If this case grabbed your attention, click subscribe and join our growing community of true crime seekers. Comment your theories below. We read them all. And as always, thank you for keeping the memory of the missing alive.